Hey everybody, Rich Lang with Prep U, out here in the garage like I was for the first video in this series. I know I didn't call it a series in the original video of going to the range, but I have a couple people say to me, you know, you kind of went a little fast through some of the stuff that you have, and we know that you're going to be putting lists in the list video, but they asked, hey, can you go through the individual bags and stuff like that that you have. So we're going to do that. So we're going to call going to the range overview, which we did before, you've probably seen as part one. This is going to be part two. Part two, we're going to go over the outdoor range kit and trauma kits that I carry, and then the next video is going to be, we'll go over the range bag and the different types of targets that we bring. But we're going to do that over the next few days or so like that. And in the last video, what we're going to do is we will concentrate on do's and don'ts at the range. It's just easier to put that in another video. It's kind of important. I'm sure you can hear the rain in the background. We're getting dumped on right now. And hopefully my wife and daughter aren't getting dumped on. They are down in Chicago watching the Cubs game. So the person that didn't like the fact that I had a sock shirt on one day, some of the family goes to the Cubs game. So there you go. We're a Chicago sports family. But let's get into this. Let's get out of sports and let's get into what we've got. I told you that we have a range kit, an outdoor range kit specifically that we take with, and let me go over a couple of the things that we have here. Bucket, range bucket. It's got a top on it, it's got nothing on the inside. And like I said in the video, where we go for outdoors, you can accumulate hours. You have to have so many hours, 10 hours a year just helping or whatever, and one of them is cleaning up the range. There's a lot of classes that we have out there, and a lot of times the instructors don't have their students clean up, which I think is a mistake and wrong, but that's just me. And so get a bucket like this, and you can walk around and pick up shotgun shells and throw those in the garbage, pick up brass and put those in our brass buckets that we make money off of. And then there's, you know, garbage cans out there for the steel, and steel isn't worth anything. I mean, aluminum's worth some, but steel isn't worth a darn thing. So that's what this is for, and you can also put other stuff in here, obviously, if you want to, if it's easier to carry. Let me put this down here. But this is what I was talking about. This is our range box. It says range box right on top of there. And it also says bring range bucket and targets, because believe me, I've been out to the range before and forgot targets, and we don't sell targets at the range. So anyhow, here we are. Let me take those glasses off, and this is what we've got in the range bucket. So these are also smaller targets, distance targets, sighting targets. You can see some of these in here. These are basically, what do they call these? Improved arts with optics, 25 meters zeroing targets. Kind of nice. I'm gonna zero some of your firearms in. Always extra targets in case I do forget the targets. Cleaning kit, and the range is getting harder. Can you believe that? Cleaning kit. Like I said, staple gun. We have some of the ranges do have wood lattice out there that we staple everything to. So it's good to have a stapler and staples. Wasp and hornet spray, definitely a must. If you don't know what's out there. COP for your firearm. Extra glasses, always have extra glasses. Zip ties are nice to have in case you have to put something together. Just work gloves, regular old work gloves, because you may be having to do something out there with somebody. We've got hammer and bug spray and nails for the hammer. What good's a hammer without nails? We've got bungee cords, and maybe one of you guys can tell me what these are called. All right. But these are really nice for tying things together. I know I've got a couple tarps that I carry with, and this works good for tarps if you're going to put it on something. There you go. Pens. Mark your targets, you know, so you don't, you know, have to keep changing your targets out. Pair of pliers, and standard and Phillips screwdriver. And I have one clothespin in here. I don't know what that's going to do. Also a knife, and this is actually a seatbelt cutter, but it works good for cutting other stuff. So I've got a bunch of them for the firehouse. I also like to, and I'm just going to show you what these are. This is just duct tape with a little hook on it, the screw hook. And I have used these with the duct tape that is not in the kit for some reason. Put this out there and hang clays off of it. Just shoot at clays. But that's basically it. That's, you know, your range kit. It's not a lot of stuff, but it's something that you need. And I'm sure there's other things. If there's other stuff that you guys carry that work out there or go to outdoor ranges, let me know, and we'll talk about it in a future video. But it's just, you know, it's just a little bit of different stuff to have with you when you're there. It's at least if I forget the other targets, I've got something to shoot at. So, okay, that's our range package. The other thing we're going to talk about is trauma kits. Trauma kits to one person is different than a trauma kit to another person. I was an EMT, not a paramedic, so there's a lot of stuff that I don't carry. My son's a paramedic and teaches it, so he carries other stuff. This rain is not stopping. Yeah. But anyhow, so I showed you this in the video. This is what I call the trauma kit, coffee cup on top. So I'll show you what we have in here, and I also have a secondary kit that we take with. Always pocket mask. I'll hold it the right way so you can read it. A trauma pack quick clot. A lot of guys don't like quick clot. I get it, it gets in the wound. But if you got nothing else, it works perfectly fine. Pen and paper. Write down what you're doing, what times, and all that kind of stuff. Especially your tourniquet. If you put a tourniquet on, make sure you mark what time you started that tourniquet. So other things you're going to have in here, I mean, you're going to have sterile pads, 5x9s, 4x4s. In here you're going to want to have paramedic shears and other scissors for cutting gauze, cutting clothes, other things. It's just nice to have. Let's see, Band-Aids. Always nice just to have regular Band-Aids. I have Band-Aids everywhere, constant. Flashlight. Gets dark sometimes, so you're going to need a flashlight so you know what to do. See, hand sanitizer. This is an emergency blanket based on you don't want the person to go into shock, so you want to keep them warm. So you want to have an emergency blanket. These are nice. I know they're hot hands, but when it's cold outside, because we shoot in all kinds of weather, if somebody's down, you can put these, you know, under their arms. You can put them on their chest, under clothes. It'll keep them warm them up with the emergency blanket. So it's kind of nice to have. They're light sticks. If you need to mark an area or tell somebody, you know, hey, I'm over, look for the green or yellow or red light stick. That's where we are at, especially if it gets dark. Sam splint, always good to have. People, you know, the only injury you're not going to deal with is just, you know, getting shot or getting cut. You know, you could break something. Also, a couple bandanas are nice. You can make slings out of it. You can just kind of put it around your forehead so you aren't sweating on the guy as you're helping him out. And then inside here, this kit right here, we just have just various stuff that you're going to need. You've got cling, you've got wound wash, cold packs. You've also got gloves right on top. Also, you got this is basically a small surgery kit. Also, steri strips, more hot hands, wound seal. If it's a smaller wound, you can use something like that. Tape, When you have the 4x4s and the gauze, it's nice, but the tape is going to secure it. And then some alcohol preps and more steri strips. That's just the general basic trauma kit that comes to the range with me. But what I carry with me always, and you've seen this kit in other videos, is something that I call my trauma kit. In this kit are gloves, tourniquets, trauma dressings. Actually, they're 2 Israeli bandages. You guys will know what those are if you've dealt with them before. 4x4s, 5x9 sterile pads, gauze bandages, entry exit dressing, suture kit, pocket mask, which is really right there. I don't have it in here. An emergency blanket again for keeping the person warm. Steri strips and ABD pads. I don't know if you guys have ever seen ABD pads. Some people have. I know guys in the military have seen these. I'm just going to take this apart. I'm going to have to put it back together. ABD pads are basically, these are extra absorbent. They're a little bit larger than normal, and if you, depending on where they get, a person gets cut or shot, they could bleed a lot, and you're going to have to pack a lot. And if you don't know about packing a wound, once you put something like this on the wound, you don't remove it. You leave it there and put more on it and more pressure. That's where pressure points are important. You should kind of learn where the pressure points are for people. This is your hyphen vent. This is your entry and exit wound. Obviously one part goes on the entry and the other one goes on the exit. And for those of you that don't know, the exit wound is going to be larger. Okay, that's just the nature of the beast. Again, survival pad, lots of gloves, sterile pads, more sterile pads. Here are your Israeli bandages. Get some of these if you're going to buy them. Open one up. Practice with it. It's really important. Tourniquet again. Get several of these. Put them in all your kits. Open them up and try them out on other people. Be careful. Don't crank down on them. They're not going to like you very much. Paramedic scissors, pen light. A few other things in here, tweezers, forceps, stuff like that are in there. Cling, lots of cling, and a suture kit. For those of you that have seen Sylvester Stallone in Rambo, the original, it's kind of what he used to sew up a wound. You shouldn't have to have it, but I had one in the basement in my medical dresser. It's got all kinds of drawers with medical stuff. So I just went ahead and put it in there just in case you need it, because you don't know. So that's basically video, which is going to the range part 2, looking at your range box and looking at your medical and trauma kit. So next time we see you, we will be doing the part 3, which will be 2 other items. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you're not, like if you can, and like I always say, be prepared for up to 72 hours on your own, because government's not going to come to help. We can't. A lot of times we're stuck, and you are definitely on your own. So be aware of your surroundings and prep like your life depends on it, because we all know, I've said it enough times, it really does.